Alright guys, so today we're going to be working on that 2020 TrailBoss. Pretty much, we're just going to be starting to strip front suspension. Got the powder coat in today. Got the boots for the rear shocks in today. The box for the leveling kit came today, but the leveling kit didn't come. Must have broken open during shipping. I talked to Rough Country, they're shipping me out another one. So that'll hopefully be here today or tomorrow or the next day. Paint for the suspension and stuff should be here tomorrow. So I'm gonna get that all broken down. So I can get it prepped, get the coils ready for powder coat. Sway bar is gonna need powder coated. The majority of it's gonna get painted because can't get powder coated. But more or less, gonna start breaking it down. So I got to get my floor jack up there. I got to get the jack stands pulled out from underneath the camper and some cribbing. Alright guys, so got it up on jack stands there under the frame, which I'll give Chevy credit. They actually have a pretty heavy frame under these trucks. It's all, I think it's actually thicker than the frame on my Dodge. I'm not gonna lie. But also makes it harder to find a spot to put a jack stand. But anyways, everything here is getting removed. I mean, taking the lower control arm, upper control arm, knock everything off here. The lift kit is going to require the strut, the coil spring on the strut to come off. There's a spacer that goes down here, and a spacer to go back in when you put the strut back in. I do believe for the lift kit, you're supposed to drop the skid plate, disconnect the electronics for the steering rack. I probably will still do that just because I will have everything else apart. I don't think I'm going to actually have to worry about it, but there's probably a reason they're telling you to do that in case you'd pull on the rack or something. But gonna take type caliper. Like I said, I need to find paint for these calipers because it's not gonna be red. So I'm gonna start taking it apart piece by piece. Alright guys, so before the camera died, I'd pretty much gotten all this apart. The only thing that I didn't get on camera was taking the sway bar link out. It's right here. It goes right there and there. Yeah, my GoPro died. Thought it was charged more than it was, but apparently it wasn't. No, these top bolts for the strut, I'm gonna see if I can get them from the top, because it'd be a lot easier to use an impact on them than a wrench or ratchet. But if not, no biggie. Just can use a ratchet on it. Then pull that out. I do have to take the sway bar loose part on the other side to get this, to get the rest of the bushings out, and then I can take this lower arm out. I am gonna mark on each side where the alignment is now. Obviously, doing a lift kit / leveling kit, whatever you want to call it, it will not be the same alignment when it's done, but it'll be close until I can get it aligned. The top has no adjustment, it's just bolted there. There's no adjustment on these upper ones, but the adjustment's all on the bottom there. Alright guys, so there's this wire holder up here. It's hooked on this front post close to the front, and this back one close to the engine. Just take a pry bar or a big screwdriver, you can pop it up off. These are 18mm. If you had, which I do have them, I just have to walk back down to go get them, swivel sockets and longer extensions, you can come in through the engine bay. I already have the ratchet and wrench and everything down here, or up here, so they're not that tight. Now, if this was like my wife's truck, I would probably use an impact gun, because they'd be rusted. Alright guys, so struts out. Pretty much take 3 bolts out the top, push down a little bit on your lower control arm, and you can pull it right out. I might pull this control arm off before I switch to the other side, just because, like I said, I can't get this lower out. But the sway bar in the way, actually I might be able to get into it. Nah, I won't be able to get a socket on that nut. Go. You risk breaking these cams. So I'll probably pull this control arm off, switch to the other side, then come back after I get the sway bar off, take this control arm off. Alright guys, so the driver's side's tore down as much as it can go. Got the control arm off on the top, strut, everything's out. All the parts are just kind of scattered here. Gonna go start tearing that passenger side apart, and until I'll get the passenger side tore down to the control arm just like I did on this side, and then I'll tear the sway bar out and then pull this lower control arm on both sides. Like I said, I am gonna mark where if I can get it to focus, where that lineup pin is on these cams, because then it'll be close alignment, but it won't be exact, like I said, because anytime you put a lift level or anything on a vehicle, you should align it. And I'm doing, I think it's 1.5 inches on this truck, so it'll get aligned either way. I want it close enough when I'm done so that I don't have to worry about it. Alright guys, so I'm back out here. I had to take my daughter to archery lessons and stuff. But I'm gonna try to get the passenger side tore down to what I have the driver's side tore down to. At least tonight. I might try to get that sway bar off and get the lower control arms off. But it's like 9:15. I am that neighbor that makes all the noise. So I don't want to make too much noise since it is this late. And it's a Wednesday night, so I'm gonna try to get as much done as I can tonight. And whatever I can't get done tonight, I'll do tomorrow. Because the paint will be here tomorrow. Well, the paint's supposed to be here tomorrow. I'm not gonna say it's gonna be here tomorrow because things do happen. Like the leveling kit that was supposed to be here today shows up and the box is empty. I mean, it happens. So that should be here either tomorrow or the next day. The leveling kit will be. So I'm hoping to get this tore apart, get the struts then tore apart tomorrow, get them blasted down, get them powder coated. I could then paint the struts, or the shock for the struts. Get the control arms ready to be painted. The knuckle, I think I could powder coat it. I don't think there's anything keeping me from powder coating it. So it'll probably get powder coated. But, yeah, without further ado, I'm going to start tearing it apart. guys, so I got this side tore down as far as I got the other side, but I pulled the CV shaft out for a few reasons. I might stick it back in just for tonight, but I'm gonna have to either stick a rag in there, or I'm gonna have to hang this so it's not dripping down, because you will break the joints in these. So I'm probably gonna stick it back in for tonight, and tomorrow when I come back and continue on this, I'll probably pull it out then, stick some rags in both sides, pull both CV shafts then. But it's starting to sprinkle again, and it's about 10 o'clock now, so I don't want to make too much more noise, especially if the impact gun's rattling. I don't have to really pound on anything now, but the impact guns are making enough noise. So I'm gonna clean up tools and go from there. Alright guys, so it's the next day. This is the passenger side still. I forgot to tell you guys last night. So the difference from the driver's side and passenger side. Passenger side, this tray for all the wiring is a pain. The front two bolts, not too bad. The back bolt is a pain. You got to use one hand to hold the tray up, the other one to use your wrench. I mean, it's not that bad, but it's kind of a pain. But I'm gonna get these CVs out of the way on both sides, and then I'm gonna start taking the sway bar off. I believe it's 10 millimeter. I'm gonna loosen them up about finger tight, and then I'll drop it all at once, and then I'll work on getting the control arms off each side. Alright guys, so sway bar's out. See, I put a green mark where the adjustment is on these lower control arms. I already did that on both sides. So I'm gonna start taking these lower control arms out. It's a 27 millimeter or 1.16". So it's a bigger size. I mean, well, you can see somebody try jacking up on this control arm at some point in time. I don't think it worked real well for them. But so if you ever have to take them off, you're gonna need a little bit bigger tools. But we're gonna start tearing it apart yet. I haven't decided yet if I am gonna pull the outer tie rod off and paint it yet. That's still up in the air. Like I said, it's gonna get in alignment, so it wouldn't matter if I took it off or not. So, I mean, I can pretty much leave the jam nut where it's at. That should be good, but I'm still up in the air on it. So, I'm gonna get this burnt down, hopefully start cleaning these up tomorrow to get ready for paint. Because my paint's here. Both colors of powder coats here, so I should be ready to start shooting or putting on powder coat as tomorrow or whatever. If not, it'll be this weekend. So that'll be good. Alright guys, control arms are out, as you've seen in the video. I'm going to take a skid plate out too. It's 4 bolts, I think they're 13 millimeter. It's looks like aluminum. I figure might as well powder coat it too, since it's metal. Most skid plates are plastic, but this being the TrailBoss off-road edition, it's metal. So I'm going to take it off, powder coat it also. I might try to get these off. I'm not sure if they're going to break loose or not, but we'll try it. Alright guys, skid plate's off. Both tie rods are off. I struggled a little bit with the driver's side because I didn't realize it was backwards. But it's off. I should have known better at being backwards because I used to do alignments and everything, but well, figured it out. So I haven't decided yet if I'm taking the tow hooks off now or if I'm taking them off later. But either way they're getting done. Powder coated. So try not to make this video too long because there's going to be multiple videos for this truck. But that'll probably be it for this video. Stay tuned for the rest of it. The next video should be clean up and powder coat and paint. Might get the tow hooks off in the next video. Not sure yet. I think there's just 2 bolts holding them in. Shouldn't have to take the front bumper off or anything, because I think that's the one nut, and there's 2 bolts on the other side. So I believe, oh, that's that one up there. But yep, stay tuned for more. Like I said, should be starting cleaning them up either tomorrow or the weekend, which tomorrow's Friday, so the weekend's, you know, here anyways. So stay tuned. Thanks for watching.